This village seems much more run down than Helavis was.
This is where the Abbey sends its malcontents. Don't conform or accept the Abbey's rules or commit a crime, and you'll end up here with the rest of the refuse.
And I take it the Abbey doesn't care what happens to this place.
So, disrupt their precious order, and you get banished?
Exactly. I'm sure they'd say it's all part of their notion of reason.
Oh yeah, that exorcist Eleanor said something like that.
After the Advent, the Exorcist showed up to quell the tide of demons and to restore the human world. But demon blight keeps spreading, and the only places they can keep safe are a few of the bigger cities. There aren't enough exorcists to protect everyone.
When the going's tough, cut off any excess baggage. It's the rational thing to do.
I suppose so, but it's too heartless. And that right there, that's the Abbey for you. Humans aren't livestock, and we're not machines either. That's why some of us here, myself included, chose to live here of our own accord.
Guess there are all types of humans out there.
The important takeaway here is that exorcists are neither invincible nor infallible.
Wait. My granddaughter said she spoke with you.
Hey, hold up. It's not like we threatened her or anything.
Don't worry, I know. I gather you intend to continue your travels, yes? Then take this. It's nothing fancy, but hopefully it helps.
Food's ready. It's nothing special.
Ah, now that hit the spot. Hey, Velvet, can I ask you a question?
You can do whatever you want, but just because you ask doesn't mean you're getting an answer.
So, about that whole apple thing, you can't taste anything?
Not entirely. I can taste blood.
Nothing else?
Nothing. And I don't think I can feel full either.
You don't think? You talk like you've never had a good meal before.
I haven't. Not normal food, at least. Not since I became a demon.
So, what have you been eating?
Please. You were in that prison with me.
I'm sorry.
Forget it. This is just what I am now. As long as I have a recipe, I can still cook. And now I don't even have to worry about how it tastes.
I suppose.
Food keeps my strength up. That's all I care about.
Oh yeah, the guy at that weapon shop gave me some booze for the trip. I nearly forgot about it.
You really think it's a good idea to drink when we've got demons to fight?
A little drink'll warm me up.
I thought you couldn't feel the cold.
That's true, I suppose. Well, I'm not drinking it anyway. I'm using it for something.
Like what? Got some wounds to clean?
That's one use for it, sure. But I've got something more practical in mind. By pouring it on the pegs that hold the blade and hilt together, the wood will swell and hold everything firmly in place in battle.
You've got such a one-track mind, I swear.
That's just the kind of demon I am.
Better be ready.
Hey, hold up! See this?
You won't get away. Your style is really unique.
Just wait until I pull out the good stuff.
I'm not waiting.
Don't get overcome.
Deception! 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 Hold up! See this? Hold up! Deception! 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 Engine! Deception! 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 One down! For one! For one!
Come on, really? Ugh. What's that smell?
Oil? On to battle!
Hold up! Deception! See this?
Not even worth my time.
Always ready to fight.
Deception!
You won't get away!
Hold up!
Slow down!
Deception! Deception! Deception!
Down!
Attention! You're finished!
Sorry to cut you down.
I'll end this quickly.
For one!
Well then, let's move on.
I'll end this quickly. You won't get any pity or compassion from me. You better be ready. You won't get away.
Hold up! Deception! See this?
They were nothing. I think we might be able to break this boulder.
And people say I'm foolhardy.
I'm serious. I think we can do it. Are we not demons?
You have a point.
I'll end this quickly. Come on, really?
You'll be rust on my blade.
Deception! Deception!
There!
Hold up!
won't improve by fighting weaklings.
Always ready to fight. Hold up!
I'll cut down anyone in my way!
So it was tar we were smelling. Watch your step. You won't get out if you get stuck.
Always ready to fight.
They were nothing.
On to battle.
Not even worth my time.
On to battle. For one. See this? Destruction. For one.
I'll cut down anyone in my way!
You'll be rust on my blade. For one. Hold up.
Come on, really? Not even worth my time.
Always ready to fight. Disruption.
Not even worth my time. They were nothing. You better be ready.
I won't improve by fighting weaklings.
You better be ready. Not even worth my time. Here I come! You won't get away!
For one! Destruction!
You won't get any pity or compassion from me.
On to battle!
Hold up!
I can't even call that a fight. You know what they say? Falling off a rock only makes us stronger.
I don't think that's quite how the saying goes. I'm going to jump.
Don't fall and crack your skull.
Are we ready for this?
Hold up!
Yes! I refuse to fall here!
Always ready to fight. Deception!
Not even worth my time.
You'll be rust on my blade!
That all you got? You won't get away!
For what?
We're finished here. Let's go. You better be ready.
Deception!
I'll cut down anyone in my way! You're a fine swordsman.
Not as far as I'm concerned. I still have a long way to go.
What sort of demon are you?
A Yaksha. I'm a war demon.
A war demon. Makes sense.
And what about you? You're awfully peculiar, even for a demon.
I'm a Therian.
Therian? That's a new one for me. What sort of demon is that?
A monster that feeds on foes to gain power. I don't know much beyond that.
Huh. A woman who devours her enemies. I bet your demon type is hag. Am I right?
What?
Whoa. You've got the death glares down at least. What sword style do you use? Who taught you?
I'm self-taught.
For being self-taught, you're really good. Your fundamentals are solid too. But then you suddenly throw out these kicks and all these other moves. It's really unusual.
Like I said, it's my own style. And what about you, huh? What's with those two swords? You say that big one is your life, yet you never even draw it.
It's best that I don't.
Huh? Is that part of what you learned at House Urangetsu?
Yeah, we pay our debts. That's the foundation of everything we do.
I don't get it.
Token of confidence.
Disruption! Disruption! Come on!
You won't get any pity or compassion from me.
Token of confidence.
Come on, really? Here I come! They were nothing.
You'll be rust on my blade.
See this? See this? Nope. Disruption!
They were nothing. Here I come! You won't get away!
Disruption! Hold up! Disruption! Disruption!
Victory is ours.
Here I come! Not even worth my time. Don't waste my time. You won't get any pity or compassion from me.
You said you can't taste anything. How is your sense of smell?
Why do you ask?
Those two senses work together. You know, like how if you pinch your nose while you eat, the flavor goes away?
If anything, I think my sense of smell has improved. What about you?
All my senses are sharper now. Still, being able to smell but not taste. You said Eutherians eat demons, right? Not what I'd call a pleasant diet.
Look who's talking. What do you eat?
I drink, mostly.
That doesn't sound pleasant either.
Nonsense. There's nothing with more depth and variety. Every ingredient, every process alters the whole. The rich, complex flavor dancing across the tongue. The mellow aroma exhilarating the nose. But what would a child know of such things?
Whatever.
The only downside is, now that I'm a demon, the stuff goes to my head faster than before, too.
Now that you're a demon, huh?
Don't get overcome. Victory is ours.
An exorcist.
Did he slip and fall?
No! He was thrown in! Here I come!
We found our murderer.
More fools from Hellaboots came hunting me down, did you?
It seems that way.
See this? Hold up! Here! For one! Here! You're in my way! You little... Deception! See this? You're in my way! You little... You're in my way! You little... Here! Hold up! What's here? See this? Deception! See this? Let your hat! What's it up? I won't die yet. Not until I have my revenge.
Revenge?
The bastards at the guild who tried to kill me. They want me to take the fall for their smuggling operation.
Wait, are you saying the whole guild was involved?
Of course. You think a second-rate sailor like me could pull off all that mischief by myself? I mean, sure, I was in on it. Helping them wasn't without its benefits.
He has a point. It would take more than one person to dig that tunnel into the warehouse.
Problem is, our extra-legal activities were a little too successful. The Abbey was bound to notice us at some point.
And dead men tell no tales. So they blame it on you and kill you to cover it up. Looks like it's not going quite how they planned.
How do you mean to get this revenge of yours?
A raid on Helives. I'll kill the lot of them. This I swear.
That would be suicide. Do you have any idea how many exorcists are around?
They'll hunt me down no matter what I do. I just want the guild to pay for what they did to me. That's all I wanted. But I guess even that's not gonna work out.
We'll take this back to town and tell him you're dead. That should be enough to satisfy the exorcists and get them to call off the search.
But why?
I have my reasons. We need a boat fixed for starters. Plus, if you stir things up after I leave, I imagine it'll slow down anyone who's following me.
If that's what you want, miss, I won't let you down. By the way, how on earth did you find out where I was hiding?
Luck. And a solid hunch.
The village I grew up in was the dullest, gloomiest place ever. I hated it so much I became a sailor first chance I could get. But look at me now. If I could do it all again, I wouldn't abandon my home.
I see.
Is this really how you want to play it?
Listen, I'm being hunted too. It's only a matter of time. I can't afford sympathy.
We're lucky the snow has been white for the past few years.
Why is that lucky? Snow is always white.
Wrong. In Helives, it isn't always. Depending on the direction of the wind and what the volcano is up to, volcanic ash can mix in with the snow and turn it gray.
There's a volcano nearby?
It's actually quite a ways up north, but it's the biggest volcano in all of Midgand. Mount Killeraus, it's called. And that's where we mine our flamestone. Actually, it's the only place you can mine the stuff.
Mount Killeraus.
It's got a nice ring to it. You ever seen a volcano, Velvet?
No, and I'm not interested.
This is Dial's tale. Did you really kill him?
We found him dead in a lake of tar. This is all we could bring back.
Is that so?
You can doubt me all you like, but I brought you the demon's body. Who else can say that?
True enough.
Good. Get to work on my ship then.
I'm afraid we can't. We still need Lady...
I'm in a hurry. It would be much...
You wouldn't!
It's a trade. Repair the ship on the beach and...
Very well. I'll find you your shipwrights.
Hey, Velvet. This would be a perfect opportunity for us to upgrade our equipment. How about it?
What are you talking about?
You don't know?
We didn't have anything like that in our village.
All the more reason, then. Come on, let's go.
Hey! You don't need to be so pushy.
That's just how I am. Get used to it. Come on. that's how it's done. Get it?
I suppose. It seems like kind of a hassle.
Maybe at first, sure. But once you get it down, it'll be second nature. You'll eventually learn how to maximize your personal strengths through wise upgrading and dismantling.
It does seem useful.
Right? If you plan to continue your crusade, upgrading may give you the edge you need. Of course, those who are inadequately prepared for battle probably won't end up on the winning side.
That's certainly true enough. And hey, if it'll make me stronger, I'm sure I'll figure it out. If it'll help me take him down.
sideline, just watching everything going on, going, what is even happening right now? 2 me's? It should be glorious, but it's so confusing! That and his future self is a dang cyborg! How cool and terrifying is that? After the sparring match, Future Nappa explains that he is indeed from the future, where 2 androids have taken hold upon the Earth and destroyed practically everyone there. In the future, upon Goku's death from the heart virus, his bodyguarding duties didn't just disappear, they transferred over to Gohan, because, you know, the Son family had been very kind to him, so he felt like he should just carry on the thing that he'd been doing before, just with Goku's son. So that's why Gohan survived all that time. He isn't very specific on Gohan's death, only that it happened 13 years after the initial incident in another confrontation with the androids, which resulted in his losing his arm as well as his eye. Luckily, Bulma was able to patch him up and send him back with a time machine that she'd been working on, as well as the heart medicine to try and give it back to Party Goku. After that, Future Nappa takes his leave, but he just has one more request with Goku. Train up his past self and try and use more self-discipline. If President Nappa wants to have any chance of surviving, he needs to become a Super Saiyan. After Future Nappa leaves, Goku tells the rest of the gang exactly what Future Nappa told him. Almost immediately, he wants to take Gohan and President Nappa onto a gravity room capture operation to try and get a little bit more training, get things started almost at once. And I think this is definitely where we first see Nappa going Super Saiyan. So all the fan art, all of the musings for so long finally happened. Nappa gets his golden beard. Why, Masako? What did Nappa have in terms of emotional trauma? I didn't even need to finish that sentence. 2 reasons right off the bat. Vegeta throwing him away like a piece of garbage all those years ago, and now he's been made to look like a fool by his future self. How galling is that? The only person that can embarrass him nowadays is himself. How degrading, how demeaning is that? That's enough to get you to tip over the edge. There's a lot of anger in Nappa. In the meantime, Nappa and Goku learn how to actually drive cars, with Nappa finally getting his license and Goku, well, let's just say he's still taking classes. In fact, Nappa did so well that he actually becomes, in addition to his duties as bodyguard, a chauffeur for the Son family. Yeah, granted, most of the family can fly, but, you know, Chi-Chi might want to go to the city, she might want to go to the shops, or whatever. Now I'm just imagining Nappa with a chauffeur's uniform and just going, "Where to, ma'am?" As that's going on, Bulma and Yamcha are still an item because Vegeta was never around to throw a spanner in those words. They finally tie the knot and end up having a kid not long after that. A baby girl no less, who Bulma, who actually wears the pants in that relationship, naturally decides to call Bra because why not? After finally getting the girl and actually starting a family, Yamcha's sense of self-assuredness and satisfaction is through the roof. He is a completely different person. He's got what he wants, security and a loving family. He can finally shed his desert bandit persona. 3 years later, and the android threat over at Sasebo, that little island, begins. And Goku, Gohan, Nappa, and Yamcha, as well as the remaining Z-Warriors, head off to try and confront them. And they also get the senzu beans from Yajirobe. Like in the original story, our heroes split up and look for clues down in the town. Sadly, just like in the original story, Yamcha gets confronted by Dr. Gero and 19, and it's up to Goku to try and save his life, so yeah. Just because he has a family doesn't mean he can fully escape being Yamcha. After relocating to a faraway wasteland, the fight between Goku and 19 begins in earnest. Like in the anime, Goku's heart virus begins to strike, and he is eventually overwhelmed by 19 and is about to be absorbed. This makes Nappa furious and frustrated with himself because he should have remembered about the heart medicine and telling him to take it, but he completely forgot and was overwhelmed and distracted by the training and becoming Super Saiyan. He completely forgot about the heart virus, so now he's just kicking himself. He then decides to try and take on 19 himself, but unfortunately he is outsmarted by Dr. Gero, and he's completely overwhelmed by him too. Things are beginning to look a little bit grim for our heroes, but then Future Nappa decides to come in and save the day in some kind of dramatic fashion just to try and rub it in his past self's face. He is shocked to see 2 unknown androids. These aren't the androids he's looking for. However, unlike his past self, this Nappa is a lot more tactical. I mean, he had to become that because, you know, future, no fun. He takes heed of the pitfalls that his past self dealt with against Android 19, and he quickly dispatches the big clown bot. Future Nappa then goes after Dr. Giro, but Dr. Giro has a distraction up his sleeve, and they're a very big poofy sleeve, so it's a pretty big plan, and he manages to escape. He is in a much better shape than he was in the original story because he's still got 2 hands. There's no piccolo to slice one off. He begins the activation process for 17 and 18, against his better judgment, but he has no other option. Meanwhile, our heroes begin to learn the fact from Future Nappa that the androids that they just fought weren't the ones that they were expecting to. There are more to come. They then also decide to take Goku back to Kame House so he can fully recover. Now with some time to focus, because the gang aren't so much on his tail, he actually has a time to think of a plan and actually do the activation process a little bit slower and more methodically. And he also makes sure to pocket the shutdown remote, so that means 17 and 18 can't see it. He instructs them immediately to go and take out the gang, especially Goku. Upon finding the Z Fighters, 17 and 18 make themselves known, and this begins to make Future Nappa furious. He can see before him the 2 faces that took out so many of his nearest and dearest and the ones that he was charged to protect, and he failed. In a peak of rage, he chooses to take out 18 first, and pretty much it goes the same way as it did in the original story, save for a broken arm because, you know, robot arm doesn't exactly hurt. The only difference here is that 16 isn't active yet. He's still inside his pod. Unlike previous times, the present Nappa decides not to get involved at all because he saw his future self, who is presumably stronger than himself, actually get completely creamed by 18, so what chance would he have? Both Nappas feel angry, ashamed, and utterly helpless. Jiro remotely orders the androids to go after Goku next, and the chase begins. Up on the lookout, Kami senses that something bad is happening down on the Earth, and he decides to take action. He tasks Mr. Popo to go and gather the Dragon Balls like in the Namek Saga, because everyone is distracted, and Dr. Jiro isn't thinking about Dragon Balls, so Mr. Popo should have a relatively uninterrupted, challenge of it. Why does Kami need the Dragon Balls exactly? Well, I'll leave that for later. Meanwhile, Dr. Jiro is feeling kind of confident about his plan to eradicate the Saiyans, especially Goku. But he is then surprised by a very unexpected guest. A bug-like humanoid creature who towers above him and exudes strength and menace. But it oddly seems strangely familiar. The monster then just says that he wants one thing from Dr. Giro: the remote control device that he is carrying in his pocket. Dr. Giro still doesn't really know what this beast is. It's only when the beast says his name that things begin to click into place. This is one of his experiments. That biomechanical creature that was meant to be the next stage of android technology. This was him! But how?
Well, let's just say that I found a way to get here.
And of course we know how he got there. After recognizing that this creature is indeed one of his own, somehow, future creations, Dr. Giro relaxes a little and then proceeds to give him the remote because it's not really going to do anything, it's only programmed to destroy 17 and 18. The only thanks that Giro gets is a key blast to the chest. The blast is in fact so strong that it activates the security protocols throughout Dr. Giro's lab, including activating 16's pod. He is some sort of last resort defense mechanism, something that Jiro wouldn't really want to resort on, but in times of crisis, you need everything you got. In a state of confusion, 16 then goes on a rampage, trying to take out Cell, Jiro, and pretty much the entire lab. The remote's destroyed, the lab's destroyed, Dr. Jiro's been killed, and Cell's now trapped under tons and tons and tons of rubble. Once coming to his senses somewhat, 16 leaves the lab and is eventually found by 17 and 18, who can sense the destruction of the lab. 16 and 17 fight for a short time, but then 18 is able to calm the pair of them down, saying that they should really stick together and go after Son Goku, and 16 responds to Son Goku, so hey, they got a common goal, so let's be friends for now. Since their master is gone, they don't need to go after Son Goku straight away. They can get to it in some other time, but for now, let's go on a road trip. Meanwhile, our heroes have been able to make a retreat back to Kame House with Goku in tow. At this time as well, the two Nappas decide to finally call a truce. They then decide to train together to make sure that nobody could ever embarrass them ever again. As this is all going on, the androids aren't destroying anything, they're going on a road trip and having a great time. But little does everyone know that deep down under many, many miles of rubble, something is awakening. Cell is angry, and he is going up and up and up and ready to take on everybody. He is freaking nettled. Shortly after that, Mr. Popo finally gathers all the Dragon Balls. Kami knows exactly what his wish shall be. he decides to wish upon Shenron the very same wish that King Piccolo asked for all those years ago. It's time for Earth to get a guardian who can actually do something that the Earth deserves. The last shot that we see in this part is of a young Kami, deciding to head up into the Room of Spirit and Time and begin to train and settle the score. So that's where we're going to leave things for right now. The two Nappas have been able to settle their differences. Dr. Giro had a little bit more time to do what he wanted to do, but, he still snuffed it. And we now got to see Kami finally deciding to kick some ass, instead of getting Piccolo to do it. So, we're seeing the Guardian of Earth becoming really cool! I think that's a pretty neat twist, but what do you guys think? Did you like this?
Hey Vegeta, look! More butt people. Hey guys, Masako X here. We round off What If Week for January. Hey Vegeta, look! More butt people. Hey guys, Masako X here. We round off What If Week for January with me in Comic-Con in Alabama and you watching Part 3 of What If Nappa Turned Good. Today, we're going to be continuing a story that I really did not expect to gain traction, and it's basically just another minion of Vegeta's suddenly turning good. And for some reason, that really goes down well with you lot. But that's okay, because I'm more than willing to oblige. Unlike the Raditz interpretation, I believe that the Nappa interpretation is a lot more bolder in its scope. We're actually doing something a little bit more different than we expected, and taking some risks. Doing things that even I didn't think we would do going into this. And the biggest differentiation is the fact that we're not using the future Trunks hook like we usually do in these what ifs. So what happened in the future is entirely different. And all of this thanks to some banter from Lanny Pator and Grant over at Team 4-Star. So cheers guys! So in the last part we had future Nappa come from the future to save the day and then let Goku survive so he could recover. Dr. Giro also got to meet his creation Cell, albeit in not the best circumstances given the fact that he died. But the biggest revelation is that since Piccolo's no longer around, he's currently in the body of Nail on New Namek, we now have to find a new strong Namekian guardian, and we got that with Kami. He used the Dragon Balls to make himself young, and he headed off into the Room of Spirit and Time in order to get stronger and actually become the guardian of Earth that the people of the planet deserve. Pretty bold stuff there, so let's not waste any more time and get straight into it. Once Goku's been actually transported to Kame House, Bulma discovers another time machine lurking in the undergrowth and decides to go and investigate it, much like in the original. She brings this all up to future Nappa's attention, and he is naturally curious. So he, Gohan, and Krillin, as well as Bulma, decide to go and figure it out. And when they get there, they discover all is not well. Something huge has broken out of the time machine, and they do not like what they see. Thanks to the skills of Detective Gohan, they then discover the body and exoskeleton of a larval state cell. And it's really, really big and really oozy and scary. They are truly terrified at the size of this thing and what it could be, and the fact that it's out there somewhere, just waiting to drink people. Kami exits the Room of Spirit and Time, feeling a lot more stronger than he was when he went in. He now feels he is ready to be able to help the people down on Earth. Mr. Popo can barely recognize this Namekian, and he is so proud of him and how strong he's become, and he's going to do the people of Earth proud. Kami gives Mr. Popo a small smile before focusing on the job in hand. And that job is to go and find the beast that's causing so much terror on the surface and put an end to it. Now. He heads down to the planet's surface, somewhere near Ginger Town, where the most of this action is happening, and begins his investigation. But the only thing that he finds here is Cell. A much weaker Cell than he was expecting, and he's kind of curious about that. What happened to him? What we know is that the reason why Cell is so weak is because he was injured thanks to the actions of 16 going completely wild at Jiro's lab and burying him under tons and tons of rubble. That took a while to get out, and a lot of his strength has been drained. He's got to go and try and drink more people. The creature then explains his nature in a similar way as to he did with Piccolo in the original story, just being even creepier about it.
Because I am really nettled, Kami.
Now all buoyed up, he then just feels like he may as well just go and fight Kami. In this version of the story, Imperfect Cell is bigger, larger, more terrifying and brutal, and just more aggressive. He's less calculating than his original counterpart, and is much more desperate in his approach. As a result, though, this turns out to be his undoing, and Kami beats him thanks to all of his experience. Cell has no choice but to retreat for now. Kami then meets up with Gohan, Krillin, and the two Nappas, with Gohan mistaking Kami for Piccolo. After a period of slight confusion, Kami then explains what he managed to find out thanks to his encounter with Cell. He then says that they should go on and try and find the cyborgs while he himself goes to try and defeat Cell, because that's what he's meant to do as the Guardian of Earth, save the people. The four of them then decide to retreat back to Kami House to regroup, and not a moment too soon. Remember the cyborgs? They were going on that little joyride thing? Well, they're kind of bored, so hey, what about that directive they were thinking about? You know, do a good old-fashioned murdering Son Goku? Yeah, let's go do that. But unlike the original story, 18 chooses not to fight, and instead, the two Nappas decide to take on 16 and 17. Krillin then tries to approach 18, asking her some questions about why is she doing all this? Why is she a cyborg? What happened to her? She reluctantly answers some of his questions and actually appreciates his boldness. Meanwhile, the situation isn't looking so good for the Nappa brothers. They then quickly decide to focus on the double team tactics that they developed with Goku. Maybe these cyborgs are better than them in terms of strength, but they gotta work together and try and focus their efforts into actually taking them out one at a time. That might work. There is a turning point when future Nappa is able to injure 16, landing a powerful punch to the head. As that fight continues, Kami continues to stalk Cell from a distance. After a while of observing the creature though, Kami is terrified as to noting what Cell is exactly doing. He is slowly heading towards Kami House and getting ever closer to his desired perfection. While 16 and 17 are fighting the two Nappas, Cell lands a surprise attack against 18 and Krillin. They weren't seeing that coming. Thanks to this surprise attack, she is overwhelmed, and we then see a semi-perfect Cell, which is different to what we originally know. When 17 notices the energy of 18 suddenly disappearing and changing, he turns around and is terrified to what he is seeing. The two Nappas and two androids then realize that they gotta deal with semi-perfect Cell, so a temporary truce must be called to proceedings. This Cell is different, cooler, much more collected than the original semi-perfect Cell. Needless to say, he is able to hold his ground against the two androids and the two Nappas. After throwing them around a little bit, Kami also comes in to help them. Seeing that they cannot win this fight, 16 and 17 then just decide to retreat. All of this leaving the two Nappas and Kami to take on semi-perfect Cell, and yeah, that's not gonna work out. It's pretty obvious that this monster is not happy about the about face that 17 and 16 have done, and instead chooses to end the fight by winding everyone else and then going after the cyborgs. Once Kami's caught his breath, he tells the two Nappas exactly what they need to do. Go into the Room of Spirit and Time and train like you've never trained before.
Can me and Gohan join in too?
Says a familiar voice. It turns out that the heart medication worked faster than expected and Goku's up and about, albeit not at his full strength. They all decide that the two Nappas will go in first and Goku and Gohan will go in the next day once Goku's had some more time to recover. Meanwhile, Kami is busy to try and think of a plan in order to distract Semi-Perfect Cell from getting 16 and 17. And all of this running away is getting more and more annoying for the Bugman. By the next day, the two Nappas exit the chamber, now stronger than ever, and much more in harmony with each other. But having said that though, they are glad to get out there and tired of their company. And remember, this is back in the day when the Room of Spirit and Time was an arduous task, something not to be taken lightly. It's not just a convenience tool like it is in the days of Super. Thank you, Dende. Thanks a lot. Goku and Gohan then enter the chamber themselves, with the now powered up Nappas deciding to take on the Bugman and teach him a lesson. Hey, Cell! We're gonna take you to school. Down on Earth, Semi-Perfect Cell manages to find 16 and 17. He dispatches of 16 and is about to absorb 17 when the Nappa brothers show up. They may not be as strong as Super Vegeta, but they're still able to wreck Cell pretty substantially, enough for 16 and 17 to have a chance to try and escape. Semi-Perfect Cell recognizes their power, but unlike the bullish and brutish Semi-Perfect Cell of 17, this Cell, with 18's absorption, actually senses that he's got to keep his eye on the prize. He decides to play some mind games against Nappa because he sensed that these two aren't exactly the smartest of the Z fighters. So, why not do something really fun and really exciting while he goes off and tries to absorb 17? Pit the two against each other. because that's what happened before. He then tells Future Nappa then, why are you protecting the being that destroyed your master and protector, Gohan? Because remember, 17 did that in the future? And Future Nappa then goes, oh, that's a really good point. I am confused! He then turns his gaze to 17 and realizes that this is all true. The only thing that present Nappa can do right now is to try and stop Future Nappa from distracting himself and going away from Cell. Present Nappa is constantly trying to tell Future Nappa that Master Kakarot can teach them the error of their ways and that 17 can have a second chance. It can all work out. It doesn't have to be this way. The roles have been reversed somewhat. It's present Nappa being the more rational one, and that's a bit of a dramatic twist in a way. Cell manages to absorb 17 and he has finally reached perfection. He immediately then turns his gaze back to the two Nappas and is about to finish them off, but witnesses them wrestling each other. And this gives the Cell creature an idea.
Well, it looks like we'll get the repairs we need.
Maybe, but that's only half of our problem. Without a proper crew, we'll wind up shipwrecked again.
We don't have time to find one, and we can't hire a ship without permission.
We'll just have to do what we can. But we've seen where my sailing skills get us.
I'm not forcing you to come. I'll do it alone if I have to.
I wonder if there are any free sailors around.
They were nothing. You better be ready. They were nothing.
Don't get overconfident.
They were nothing. You better be ready. Clear! They were nothing.
You'll be rust on my blade.
They were nothing. You better be ready. They were nothing.
On to battle.
They were nothing. Here I come!
I won't improve by fighting weaklings. Hey, Velvet. Do the demons you kill turn back into humans?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Remember the demon that attacked us near the coast? When it died, it turned back into a human. Every demon I've killed has stayed a demon. So, I was just wondering what was different.
Do demons stay demons when they die? But what about Nico and the villagers I killed?
Maybe it's just a case-by-case sort of thing.
Who cares? A corpse is a corpse, whether it's human or demon.
Yeah, I guess being human again doesn't help much if you're already dead.
Exactly. All that matters is that the demons I devour make me stronger. Nothing more.
She's hopeless. Her keel's busted. It'd be faster to build a new ship.
Her keel?
You could say she's like a man with a broken back.
And how in blazes did you end up running aground here? I wouldn't think it possible.
If you can't help, that's enough. Go back to town.
What now? Do we try to find a new ship?
I can't think of anything else. I just hope we have time.
O Empyrean Inominat, hear my prayer. Blessings and honor unto thee. This frail flesh a sacrifice to be thy foundation.
Sister.
Oh, Oscar! What brings you here? Your face! What happened to you?
A demon got the better of me. I've been summoned back to the Abbey, but I thought I'd stop by on my way.
My poor brother. I'm so sorry.
There is pain, but I can still fight. The scar will serve to remind me of my inexperience.
An underhanded foe, no doubt.
No. The demon saps her enemy's strength with her left hand and turns it against them. It was a girl with black hair and eyes full of fire. She poses a threat for even a seasoned praetor. Please, take care, dear sister.
It was her!
Teresa?
Understood. I will. Worry not. A failure as minor as this is not the end of the world.
To be honest, I came hoping you would cheer me up like that. Well, I do believe I recognize those earrings.
Of course. I treasure them dearly. Thank you.
They suit you just as well as I thought they would. I must take my leave now.
Lady Teresa, we've captured a stowaway.
I wasn't stowing away, you twit! I merely boarded without permission!
You're a collaborator with that demon woman. Where is she?
Your tortures are useless against the mighty Magilu! Because I'll spill my guts just fine without him.
Oh, it's ready to fight! 1, 2!
Not even worth my time. You better be ready.
Hold stop! 1, 2!
You won't get any pity or compassion from me. Don't waste my time. Not even worth my time.
Oh, it's ready. ready to fight!
I won't improve by fighting weaklings.
I'll end this quickly. They were nothing.
You'll be rust on my blade! Hold up! Next! Deception! Deception! For one! For one!
Come on, really? I'll end this quickly. They were nothing.
On to battle!
Not even worth my time.
There was word from the Abbey. They're holding a public execution for a witch who tried to draw demons into the city.
Is that so? Sounds like a real nasty character.
I'd stay away from the city if I were you. It's a common tactic for Lady Teresa. Threaten one criminal to draw out their allies.
Are you saying I'm a criminal? Pot calling the kettle black, isn't it?
That's why I'm warning you. Lady Teresa's top class, even among exorcist praetors. I wouldn't think badly of you if you fled.
A witch. It has to be Magilou, huh?
It looks like the Abbey is onto us. We'd best assume they've already found the tunnel.
No sense trying to buy a ship now.
Then don't buy one. Steal it.
Steal a ship from Helavis. Just the two of us.
We have at least one other on our side.
Dial?
He said he can navigate. If he joins forces with us, all the better.
That could be. But what happens to Magilou?
I suppose that's up to the Abbey. Let's head to Dial's cave.
Sorry, Magilou. Rest in peace. You really go all out, don't you?
What do you mean?
Look, you're using Dial, threatening the guild, abandoning Magilou. You see?
I'm not abandoning her. She can take care of herself.
Nothing stops you, does it?
There's a lot I don't understand about Magilou. but I know she won't be killed so easily. Besides, I'm sure she's already told the Abbey everything she knows about us.
You're probably right.
That means we need an ace up our sleeve. Like a demon they believe to be dead.
All right. One last good sharpening and I'll call this blade done. Do your blades need sharpening too? I'd be happy to take care of it for you if you want.
No thanks. I was taught never to leave my lifeline in the hands of another.
Sure. Sounds like you found a good teacher. I don't care if it's me who does it, as long as you're keeping them well maintained. Just in case you don't already know, after you sharpen your blades, you should rub them with clove oil and wipe them down with wool.
Yeah, I know. I was taught that too. By the man who killed my brother.
What are you two doing back here?
Things didn't work out. We'll lend a hand with your raid.
Awfully presumptuous, aren't you?
I'm a demon. Comes with the territory.
You got me there. Ah, gods. I think that's the first time I've laughed since turning demon. But are you sure? It's suicide, you know.
Maybe not. I have a plan. The exorcists have a hostage they're using to lure me into the city.
Then we can sneak in through the tunnel into the storehouse.
No. I expect they'll have an ambush ready there. So instead, we hit them with a direct frontal assault.
You call that a plan?
No. I call it a feint. As their forces converge on the front, a second group slips in via the tunnel, strikes the docks, and secures a ship. After that, the two groups meet up and we all sail away. And I want you at the helm.
Answer me this, then. Who's making this frontal assault of yours?
I will, naturally.
That works. When?
Tomorrow. Can we rest here until then?
Make yourself at home. Nothing so comfy as a bed of tar.
Velvet? Hey, Velvet?
Laffy?
You were crying out. Were you having a nightmare?
Oh, Laffy! It was terrible!
Hey, come on, let go of me. I have to go. I have something important to do.
What's that?
Arthur told me to come meet him at the Shrine of Tranquility.
No, Laffy-set! No! Listen to me! Artorius is... He's going to...
Are you all right? You were tossing and turning.
I'm fine. It was just a dream. If you don't want to go with me, I understand.
That wouldn't do. How can I repay you if you die?
You are an odd one.
Am I? I always thought of me as just me. Velvet, who's this Artorius?
My target. He killed my brother.
We're ready. Dial should be at the entrance.
Let's get going then.
Sleep well?
Just fine, thanks. And your special concoction?
Ready for deployment anytime. By the way, I never caught your name.
Velvet.
We'll sail together if you live, Velvet. If not, at least I know what to put on your tombstone.
You've got a sharp tongue.
I've always been that way.
Right then, we're off to attack Helives. That reminds me. Where do you think that boy who took the compass ran off to?
Helives, I'd imagine, since Malakim are always tethered to exorcists.
That means we might run into him during our attack.
Are you getting squeamish about killing the boy because you feel indebted to him for healing you?
No. If he gets in the way, I'll take him down.
But?
I have to remember to thank him first.
Right.
Does that bother you at all?
No, not really. I just know that Malakim don't taste very good.
Malakim don't suit your palate? I'll call that a positive.
Who goes there?
Oh, I'm pretty sure you were expecting me.
I won't improve by fighting weaklings.
The townspeople are gone. I was right. It's a trap.
Wow, look who actually showed up to rescue me. Oh, you're more of a softie than I ever gave you credit for, demon lady.
You're here. You're the demon that escaped the island?
What if I am?
You hurt my dear Oscar. You will pay for that. Slowly.
Come and face me then, exorcist!
I am honor-bound to aid her.
Beware her left arm! Make a sonic thrust!
Hold up! It's up! See this? One down.
Is this all you've got?
A pair of demons should be simple for you.
Is that all you've got?
Who wants to taste my blade next?
You fiends! All exorcists form up!
As I hoped.
Hang in there, Velvet!
You too.
I admire your endurance, but you will regret this soon enough. Number 2.
You can't finish your own work. Coward.
I won't fall for your taunts. That arm of yours is too dangerous. Besides, to dispose of demon filth, one ought to use an appropriate tool.
Well, I've got tools of my own. Tools of flamestone, sulfur, and oil.
Those will explode.
What? Our stores of flamestone!
Rokuro!
I'm with you!
Hey! Aren't you forgetting someone?
What are you all doing? After them!
Lady Teresa! The ships! The port! It's all on fire!
Orderlies, put out the fires at once!
Move it! We're ready to set sail!
I won't let you escape! Never! You deceitful snake!
I'm a demon. Spare me your sermons.
Then you can pay with your life!
Give up!
See this? Form 2!
Take this!
Is that all you got?
Deception! Form 2!
Twin whip!
See this? See this?
Twin whip! Out of my way!
Deception! See this?
I can't afford to let it end here. Oscar. As Exorcist Praetor Teresa, I give you this order. Do it, number 2!
The kid's gonna blow himself up!
To think you were a demon! The crybaby exorcist?
I wasn't trying!
2 praetors. Not looking good.
Knock them back! That's an order! Knock them back, or I'll eat you!
An order?
Now!
Why? Why would they do such a thing to us?
We're finished! Helives is no more!
Curse you. Curse you. Such ghastly demons. The Abbey, no. Lord Artorius himself must be informed.
Well, that turned out better than I expected. Though we wound up with a little extra.
Extra?
He looks like he'd be a scrumptious midday snack for you.
A snack?
She's just teasing.
No. If that's an order, I accept it.
Should we really be taking this kid along?
His arts will be useful to us, and we can always get rid of him.
Precisely. Malakim are tools. Use them and ditch them. Isn't that right, number 2?
Yes.